Good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night perhaps, you Pompey fan. This is Pompey Sound saying here comes the very latest update from and around Fratton Park for today, which is Wednesday, the 2nd of April, or is it the 3rd? I don't know. I'll check. It's the 2nd.
Pompey Sound, your hourly update from Fratton Park, sponsored by Piglet's Pantry, the home of award-winning and handmade food on the South Coast.
So, Millwall on Saturday, and this is what they're saying about us in East London.
Millwall boss Alex Neil believes that Championship rivals Portsmouth are underestimated. Last season's League One winners are close to securing their second-tier status at the first time of asking, with John Mousinho's side 7 points clear of safety and 7 games of the season left to go. The Lions are 6 points clear of Pompey and need to win to keep their hopes of sneaking into the playoffs alive. They're a good side, Neil told the South London press. They gave us a really difficult game down at their place. We had a couple of good chances to win the game, but we had to defend at long spells. In terms of moving the ball and creating opportunities, I thought they were good. I've watched quite a lot of their games this year. I think they're underestimated. Over the last 15 or 16 games, the most aggressive teams in terms of getting the ball back have been us and Portsmouth. They have beaten Leeds recently. They're going to be aggressive and get after the ball. They're going to make it difficult to play against them. Equally, we know if we play well, we have a good chance to pick up some points.
Wise words, but we must never get carried away with ourselves. When did you ever hear a manager say, oh, this is 3 points in the bag, we can stuff this lot easily, they're rubbish? They don't ever do that. They make sure their players know that they're going to be in for a scrap, and then they're going to have to roll up their sleeves and get stuck in and play their best, because, of course, they do have to do that, and so do we. Expect to hear something similar about Millwall from John Mousinho between now and Saturday. There's so much talk about Josh Murphy at the moment that he's looking a shoo-in for Championship Team of the Season.
Josh Murphy is confident Pompey can achieve something special next season, as long as they keep their championship status. The talented winger, who's been crucial to the Blues' championship campaign with 7 goals and 10 assists, believes a playoff push in 2025-26 isn't out of reach, especially once injured players return to the squad. His impressive performances have helped lift the team from bottom of the table to 17th, now sitting 7 points clear of the drop zone with 7 games to go. While safety isn't guaranteed yet, with Millwall up next on Saturday, things are looking more positive. Right now we're focused on winning games to avoid relegation. That's priority number 1, Murphy is saying. But looking ahead to next year, with everyone back fit, there's no reason we can't aim higher. Some fans might think I'm crazy, but this group has real potential. Look at the games we've won and how we've played. We can be a really good side. Yeah, we've had some disappointing results against Preston and Plymouth, maybe 5 or 6 games where we weren't at our best. But turn those into wins and we'd be mid-table, maybe even eyeing the playoffs. Next season with a full-strength squad, I genuinely believe we can push for mid-table or even the playoffs. That's what I want for myself and the team, and I really think we can do it. The progress is clear. Back in January, a 3-0 loss at Blackburn had them stuck in 23rd place. Now, after Murphy's winner in the reverse fixture last weekend, they're looking much more comfortable in 17th. Murphy also praised manager John Mousinho, his former Oxford United teammate, for the incredible job he's doing at Fratton Park.
Josh Murphy, you wouldn't argue with him. He's saying that Pompey are good enough to threaten a place in the playoffs next season. But I think most fans would say that if we're going to be serious about that, then we will need a little bit more investment. We have got some quality at Fratton Park. There's no denying that. And we've had some great results against teams that matter, teams that will be playing Premier League football next season. So we can be that good. But he kind of scotches over the fact that we can also be that bad, and that there are a number of areas on the pitch where we're good, but you need to be a little bit more than good if you're going to go to Wembley and maybe scrap for having Liverpool and Man U turn up the season after. We're not ready for that yet, are we? News of a player that most Pompey fans would never rather see again is making a comeback and may well be fit enough in time to play against, us.
Watford winger Kwadwo Bar is back in action after spending over 2 months in the treatment room with a thigh injury that he picked up against Preston back in January. The 22-year-old made his comeback on Saturday, getting a solid half-hour under his belt as a substitute in Watford's goalless draw with struggling Plymouth. His return could see him feature against Pompey at Fratton Park on Easter Monday, a match that's bound to have some extra spice given what happened in the reverse fixture. Bar certainly made himself unpopular with the Pompey faithful on Boxing Day, when he sparked outrage by taunting the away end after Watford's last gasp 2-1 win. The German youth international performed fortnight's infamous Take the L dance in front of 2,250 travelling fans, earning himself a second yellow card for his troubles. He'd already been booked earlier for clattering into Matt Ritchie. The drama didn't end there. Bar was also at the heart of a controversial penalty decision that had the Pompey bench fuming. Pompey boss John Messinio didn't mince his words after the match. If one of my players did that, they'd be looking at never playing for this club again. You win with humility. I think that says it all. With Watford still eyeing up the playoffs and Pompey fighting to secure their championship status, the Easter Monday clash could be a crucial one for both sides. The Hornets sit 9th, 4 points off the top 6, while Pompey have a 7-point cushion above the drop zone with 7 games to go.
Just in the interests of fair play, which we at Pompey revere, we haven't heard Bar's side of that incident where he went and did that dance in front of the faithful. It is conceivable that he felt he had been given some kind of provocation, perhaps by a member of the crowd, perhaps by a Pompey fan. There would have been no more than 1 or 2 who may or may not have shouted things at him because of the way he'd been playing the game he'd been playing, and it got to him and he felt he ought to answer back. That may be the case. It doesn't excuse what he did, but it would be useful to have all the facts before we decide what kind of condemnation we are going to condemn him to. Fair point?